Okay, y'all, I'm gonna talk about the reality of being a dream girl. Maybe you'll say, what is my criteria? How am I gonna proclaim myself as a dream girl? How does that work? That's really narcissistic and conceited and arrogant of you. Okay, hold your horses. Let's keep it calm. Let's have some decorum in this piece. I will say that I think I fall into the dream girl manic pixie category. And I feel like that category can get more niche and more nuanced when we think about the earthy, boho black girl. Okay? Okay? If you have been on social media the past several years, you know that a lot of people love that aesthetic. They love that vibe. If you think about SZA and as an archetype that she can represent to trickle down, SZA is everybody's celebrity crush. It don't matter what race you in. It don't matter what race. People love them some SZA, and I can agree with that. I appreciate SZA quite a bit. I like her style. I like her vibe. I like her face. I like her body. I like her music. Like I like me some SZA, so I understand. But SZA is an archetype that exists within the manic pixie dream girl category, and I'll say that I feel like I fall into that category because of, one, how I style myself. So style is one thing that's going to put you in that category. Two, possibly mindset. People who are, if you style yourself in that way, that very like eccentric, like Lisa Bonet, SZA, you kind of could throw stuff together and it just look good because you got a lot of beads, you got a lot of gold chains, you got a lot of bangles. It's just a specific type of vibe that category exists in. Tube tops, crop tops, braids, boho, a very like bohemian, earthy, loose, like relaxed type of vibe. Like we burn incense all day, we drink tea, we drink smoothies, we're vegan, vegetarian. I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian, but people ask me all the time. But yeah, if you're in that category, you probably gonna fall into a earthy black girl, dream girl mix. People gonna project onto you all the time. If you meditate, if you journal, if you do yoga, people are going to think that you're this ideal type of person, and that can have its cons. And we gonna talk about them. The reality of being a dream girl. People don't see you as a person, but instead as an ideal image. And you may think, what's the issue with that? Why can't people see me as ideal and perfect and put me on a pedestal? Maybe I want to be on a pedestal. No, you don't. Because if you do, you need to reflect and understand why would you want to be on a pedestal. If people don't see you as a person, as a human, they don't see you with your own wants, your own needs, your own desires, your own boundaries. They're going to project onto you all day, and they're going to make you fit into the box of what they want you to be. If you see a girl that meditates all the time, she try to eat healthy, she drinking smoothies, you're like, you could either project in a negative way, a jealousy, envious way. She thinks she healthy. Like, don't nobody care about all them smoothies she drinking. I still be seeing her dark marks under her makeup. She be wearing fake eyelashes. Like, she not that natural. She be wearing fake hair. That braid hair not real. That braid hair not hers. If she was really natural, she would have some locks, or her natural hair. Them locks she had, they extensions anyway. She wearing fake jewelry. Like, people they gonna do all of this. They gonna do all of this. They gonna do all of this. Or they can project that you're just perfect. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to be just like her. I want to meditate every day because her mind is probably so clear, and she probably doesn't even have trauma that affects her anymore. Like, she's probably such a like spiritual guru. Dog. That girl is in the same human body like you. She just may have done more healthy habits consistently. But guess what? You could do the same thing. Just do it consistently. You can learn meditation on YouTube. You can learn yoga on YouTube. It's free. You just gotta decide to do it and keep doing it. That's the only difference between you and that person. Thing is, when people idolize you too much and put you on a pedestal, they don't see you as a person, as a human, as somebody who can make mistakes. So when you do make a mistake, you are penalized much more harshly for it. It is amplified times 10, because if they see you as a perfect ideal, if they see you as more put together than a typical person, when you make a mistake, they're going to feel that it's personal. They're going to feel like it's deliberate, and they're going to feel like you're too good for that. Why are you failing? When you have this idea of being put on a pedestal, of being a dream girl, a dream person, that is not as helpful as you may think. A lot of people nowadays are wanting to be a dream person. They'll go on TikTok, they'll go on YouTube, how to be his ideal type, how to be a dream girl. And they're trying to do all this clean girl, soft girl, nonchalant girl, chill girl, bougie girl. A lot of people are trying to absorb all this information so they can have a sense of that self-worth, because they want to attract other people to them. The only way you're going to really attract other people to you is if you live in your authentic truth. A lot of people don't know how to do that. So when you find a person that does know how, they're going to attract people to them, because we're all supposed to be living in our authentic truth. We're all supposed to be living as sincerely as we can. A lot of people don't do that because they're scared of being rejected. They're scared that they're not going to be accepted by the collective of other people. The crazy thing is with that, you got to accept yourself before you can really expect anybody else to. Not to say other people can't accept you. They can. It's possible. But you accepting yourself is going to X out that dire need for external validation from other people. When we have people like dream girls, it can be very dangerous, because if people don't see you as a person, as a human being with their own personality, their own bad days, again, anytime you make a mistake, you may be discarded because they don't see you as something or someone to make mistakes. Because if you're supposed to be perfect, again, you making mistakes is seen as a deliberate personal attack to the person that you made the mistake around, because you're not supposed to do things like that, because you're not a fully fledged person. You're an ideal archetype. So with that being said, you're not a human. You would just exist as a persona of what they may think that the archetype you exist in, that's what they think you are. So if you're an earthy black girl, whatever preconceived notions that they have about earthy black girls, you have to fit inside that bubble. And if you don't, you're discarded, because you're not fitting the image of what I projected onto you. So bye-bye. You are held to more extreme expectations. Any mistake you make, any thoughts that you have and that you share that are outside of what they think that you should act like, it's no good, no bueno. You're not seen as, your worth to that person is going to go down and go out the window. So that's when it starts getting a little tricky. Any mistake you make is going to be intensified, because you are seen as a dream girl, the perfect idea, the persona of a person. I'll say for me, I could meet the criteria for that. I could be a SZA type of archetype. If we think about SZA being like a free spirit and being like so creative and so in tune with her emotions and so like stylish in a way that's unconventional, because sometimes she just be throwing stuff together, but I mean, for her it works. So I'll say I can fit inside of that archetype, right? If I fit into that archetype, I can understand that people, when they first meet me or even when they know me, they're gonna project onto me of what they want me to act like, how they want me to be, how they want me to show up, how they want me to respond. And if I was to let that dictate my personality, that would not only be very exhausting, but also very, very fictional, very limiting, very restrictive. Some people may not feel so in tune with their own personality and their own self that they can't navigate outside of that. For me, I feel like my personality and myself is strengthening by the day. So if somebody have a box that they want to put me in, it's like, baby, I'm not gonna be around you. I don't need friends that bad. And probably because I have several sisters that I hang out with pretty consistently, I have a close friend that I see regularly and I talk to regularly. It's like I don't need a big group of people. I don't. So if I need to be a certain ideal archetype, because that's what you projected onto me, to be this ideal archetype, I'm cool. Sometimes people want you to be this perfect archetype because they want to come to you for answers. I'm okay with offering advice if somebody asks, but also I feel like sometimes people disregard the things you have to say if they feel like you got it together too much. I'm somebody who meditates regularly, I journal regularly, I might do some yoga. So if this stuff helps me, I might offer you to do the same thing. But if you don't want to do that and you feel like it's not going to work because that type of stuff don't work for me, I don't know. Like you feeling like mad anti with it, I don't know what to tell you. Like you ain't got to do it. I ain't forcing you, but you asked me for some advice. This what I be doing. Sometimes it help. Sometimes I'm just trying to instill some healthy habits. But again, when people are going to already having their mind made up how you gonna be, how they want you to be, you can't really do too much outside of that. I feel like everybody should stop trying to get that external validation from other people because that's not going to do nothing for you. Once you finally get it, you're going to realize how empty it is. And sometimes it only takes you getting it for you to truly understand that. For me, I have 100K followers on Instagram. I've been having a good amount of followers on Instagram. After having those followers, I could understand that one, it's not about the quantity of followers you have, it's about the quality. Because I'll say, like, a lot of my followers are male. They're irritating as F. They just remind me how dumb a lot of the male population is. Of course, not every male, not every man, right? But the majority are very, at least the ones that follow me, are just not that bright. They're not that smart. They're not that interesting. They're just annoying. They're hypersexual. They need attention very bad. So they just gonna say anything under my post just to get me to respond. You're not gonna get a response. You're gonna get blocked. With that being said, if I have a certain amount of followers, I can understand that having followers, sometimes it don't do what you think it's gonna do. It don't. But you can only understand that after you have the followers sometime. Of course, you can understand that without having that. But some people feel like, if I have this amount of followers, everything will be good, everything will be said. It can be, but also it can not be. That's not going to be the end all be all. If that's what you're waiting on to feel safe and secure and ready to be accepted, you're waiting on the wrong key. That's not going to do that. What will do it is you always feeling safe and secure within yourself because you've built up your sense of self to that level. How you do that? You have to have self-acceptance. You have to have self-understanding. You have to be able to forgive yourself and hold space for yourself and hold grace. If you're not doing that because you're waiting to get external validation to tell you it's okay, then you are already starting off on the wrong foot. Because a lot of people are not able to even give you that clearance because they don't have it within themselves. They don't even know that it's possible that you can be okay by deciding you are okay without somebody telling you that it's okay for you to be okay. I would definitely don't try to be a dream girl for anybody. Be your own dream girl. People find it so cringe when we talk about self-love, self-care, and self-focus because sometimes they feel like you don't feel like anything. I don't feel like anything is happening. And you being able to walk with confidence is what's happening. You being able to not have to value other people's opinion above your own is what's happening. That's valuable in and of itself. But you don't value your own opinion enough to see that as something that's valid. You got to get out of that. If you steady trying to search and see how to be a cool girl, how to be better for outside people, that's not finna do nothing for you. You should see how to feel better to be satisfied within yourself. How to be better to feel secure within yourself, that you don't need outside validation. You don't need outside validation. The only person that's going to understand that though and move forward with that though is you. You have to decide when you want to do that. So steady trying to be a dream girl, that ain't the way to go. How to be genuine, how to be thoughtful, how to be sincere, how to move forward authentically. Focus on that instead because that is what's going to give you a life worth living.